Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Come on, fellas.
Down. 18 Gator.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Jam.
And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
He runs.
Yep.
Motion.
Hey, orbit. Shoot.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
Snap.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Come on.
Mahomes now to throw, and he whips that one incomplete there.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
4 down. Joker.
And to give this time to the tailback.
Get there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Good night, baby.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
15.
Haywood. 47, Mike. Mike, 47. Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Mahomes on target there to Hill. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Too little, cupcake. Show it up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
I'm coming.
Now they'll run on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yellow. Are the blue lady?
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go.
Hero 15.
Mike, check. 59. Charlie. Record.
Right side.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
Ain't no such thing as a loss.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. Mecole Hardman, the intended target.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Room here to run. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Check 6 guy. Check 52.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Hey, big rip.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
Yellow.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Right side.
We're scoreless after one. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Herbert. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Yo, go! Hey, Haywood!
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Golf!
Mike 50, Mike
5.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Let's go.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Check. Lucky.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Mahomes again. Gets this one to Hill. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9".
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Come back!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
This is more where I came from.
They come out here in the eye. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Attack, attack!
Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Let's go now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Ready?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I got you.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58's the Mike.
They can't hang with us.
58's the Mike. 58. 58's the Mike.
Get your swerve on.
Hey, Echo.
58's the Mike. Quick touch.
To throw on 3rd down. Herbert. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And what they're challenging here is the spot of the ball, and this is probably the hardest challenge to win.
So difficult because the speed of the game, the angles of the cameras, your angle from the sideline watching the play can often fool you into thinking that the ball should be placed in a different spot.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The second down attempt there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
He's scared.
15.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Here's Mahomes to throw. They complete it to Hill. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
I'm trying to collect.
Slam.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come out here in the eye. 3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play.
15.
Slam.
Easy.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On the double.
50, Mike's 50. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack.
And now look at him go. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Here we go. 58.
Here's 2nd and 8. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Check Mike 47. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10". Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Yellow, there's a blue lady.
47. Hey, watch the lane.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen.
Check 99.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Okay, break.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being...
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Team showed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Meanwhile, here a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe
Now they'll run on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Set, ready, 18, Gator.
27.
Watch the pass.
Get it.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that is incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll elect not to return. This one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw on second down, Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Darren Lee picks it. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And down inside the 15 he goes. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Check.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
You got him.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they take a knee.
Set up. 60 outlaw.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Set up.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Let's go now. 30 base.
59. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Say hut.
And on fourth down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback, and he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Yellow.
Hey, eat. Strip the ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Chiefs, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Denver, they're